It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now here on Katz and Cosby is Senator Steve Daines from the great state of Montana. Senator, we are so happy to have you here. This is fantastic. Big news in terms of the GOP. There's a great trend heading towards the Republicans in the Senate. Tell us about this. You got some great news.
Well, just in the last couple of days and a couple news breaks just in the last 6 or 7 hours, a couple of the major prognosticators have moved Montana from a toss-up race for the U.S. Senate to lean R. That shows the progress we're making on this map. This is a critical must-win state for us to get the majority back. That really is seat 51. When you think about our incumbents, Rick Scott in Florida, Ted Cruz in Texas, they're both working very hard, and we feel good that they're going to win their races. We've got to keep supporting them, and which we are. But the pickup seats now we're really focused on, with West Virginia being a solid win for us, that takes us to 50-50. So this is the first kind of toss-up state that now has been moved to lean R. There have been 4 or 5 consecutive polls that show Tim Sheehy, our Senate candidate in Montana, starting to show a bit of a lead, anywhere from 3 points to 5 points, even 6 points. This is critical. He is a Navy SEAL, 200 combat missions, a Naval Academy graduate, served on the battlefields all over this country in special operations. His wife's also a Naval Academy graduate and a Marine. They have 4 children. He's a great patriot. He'll be a great senator. He's running a great race in Montana, and it's nice to see some of these prognosticators say that Tim might just be the next U.S. senator from Montana.
Well, at least we know both Annapolis graduates, him and his wife, they love America.
Well, they do, John, and they're great patriots. And I tell you what, he was just disgusted, and one of his motivating factors was when the Biden and Harris administration botched the entire Afghanistan withdrawal. He points to that as one of the key moments in his decision-making to run for political office. Of course, he wears the names of some of his colleagues who have died, been killed by Iranian terrorists and the Taliban and others. And when he saw what Biden-Harris did for political reasons, for political timelines, it ended up with 13 service members killed at Abbey Gate. That was the moment when Tim Sheehy said to his wife, "It's time we get involved," and we're grateful that he's running for the United States Senate in Montana. He's going to be a great senator.
Senator, it's much worse than that. I was on European television yesterday, and they were supposed to have me on for 7 minutes. We were on for 22 minutes. And I said, where are all the people that respected women? Where are the women's rights groups that when we pulled out of Afghanistan, all the women in Afghanistan became slaves again? I mean, they have no rights at all. Where are those women? Where are the people that want women's rights? And I also said about the Suez Canal and the Red Sea. Where are the people that want to avoid all the crude oil going into the Red Sea? Where are the conservationists? I mean, I don't understand the Europeans.
Well, I don't understand them either, John. And I tell you, you look at what's happened in Afghanistan. This was all so predictable with this botched, politically driven withdrawal, leaving billions of dollars of equipment for the Taliban, complete collapse of the Afghan government, allowing the Taliban to get back in control, no more education and voting for the women in Afghanistan. They were making progress there. A huge loss for our country, but I'll tell you, think of those 13 Gold Star families, 11 Marines, 1 Navy, 1 sailor that lost their lives. That is just, it's atrocious, and it's going to be, I think, one of many factors that will decide this election. Remember, Joe Biden's approval ratings sunk right after that botched attack, and they never recovered. That was really the point of inflection of this presidency. If you look at his approval, disapproval ratings, it was right after August 26, 2021, when his numbers sunk. The American people saw through the political calculations of this administration. They did it for political reasons to try to put a nice little bow for the next 9/11 commemoration, and it completely failed. And sadly, there's 13 families that have lost their loved ones and will have that pain the rest of their lives.
And Senator, we just have a few seconds left real quick. I thought also during the debate, Senator Daines, when Trump said, I thought it was one of the most powerful sort of contrasts. He said, no one has been fired for Afghanistan. You don't fire anybody in your administration. And sadly, Kamala Harris is laughing. I mean, to me, I think Americans need to just almost look at that moment. Your thoughts on that?
Well, absolutely. And look, they're not going to fire anybody because they want to cover it up. They want to sweep that under the rug. But I tell you, our veterans know what happened. The men and women who wear the uniform know what happened. And that's, I think, part of what's happening in Montana, why you're seeing that Senate race moving in our direction, because we've got a decorated veteran, an American war hero, a true patriot who is standing up for America, standing up for our veterans. And Montana has the second highest per capita veteran population in the United States. Now you can see why these political prognosticators are saying that Tim Shea is going to defeat John Tester on November 5th.
Perfect. Well, Senator, thank you so much for being here
Senator.
on the show. We love having you. Thank you. We wish you so
great.
much luck.
Thanks for having me on.